live because I'm bored. I'm sitting out here while my dog kind of lounges and plays. He's a very happy guy right now, so I'm just kind of out here. So Mike Sutton shows up on Midnight's Edge and says nothing about the Kathleen Kennedy thing. So I'm going to put that to bed. I don't think that he has anything. If he does, for some reason, he's not telling anybody. Maybe it was something that just didn't pan out. Sometimes these guys follow leads and they kind of fizzle. Um, there's no reason to believe that she's staying anyway. There was a troll in the chat snarkily saying she's gonna sign on October 30th. Okay. No, she's done. She's done. And like I said, I think everyone got a little bit overly excited. Well, maybe not because Kurtzman does have a lot of stuff that he has to do, right? But it looks to me like it's going to be, if they do resign her, and I don't think they will, we may know more during the Disney call on Thursday. Um, if they do, she's not going to be able to do anything. And that, to me, it's like, why would you stay? All right, I want you to think about this. The woman has an ego the size of the Ghostbusters Twinkie over Manhattan. Okay, it's huge. Hey, Jeremy. And the idea that she's got a job, but they're not letting her do anything. It doesn't make any sense. Now, she could take it, but why? I want you guys to think about it. Why would she? Why would she go and do this when, it's obvious that, she's not going to be able to do anything, implement any projects, etc., etc. Like I said before, even a narcissist, hey, Jeremy, I agree, and I really think that there's a group of fans, well, they're not fans. One is a journalist, and one is a wannabe, never was a filmmaker, and now podcaster. There's a group of people who want this misery. They want her to stay because it's clickbait. The more pissed off people are, the more places on the internet they're going to go and look to be enraged and join a chorus of rage. Not that anything ever changes, right? But that's what they do. So my thing is, it's, when I look at from 30,000 foot panoramic view, I don't see any personal reason for her to want to stay. Even to save face. All she has to do is say, I chose not to extend my contract. I would like to move on to other things. Her ego's safe, all right? No need to bring up failures, all right? So you've got that factor. Why would she want to stay? Then you've got, what does it benefit Disney as a company to keep her there? Nothing. Now, and I'm going to say this again. If she had the goods on Iger, on whatever else, because I don't think there are any goods on Chapek. He's about as Hollywood as my dog is. He's the Parks and Recs guy. He didn't schmooze with those people. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? So really, what could you have on him? That he goes home to his wife every night and she cooks dinner? He doesn't seem like that type of guy. To what? But hey, a lot of those stings they put out there for kitty you know, whatever. They do find a lot of Disney employees, so, you know, I don't know. He just doesn't fit the type. So I don't know if it would behoove her to even want to do that. Again, why would you want to stay? Indy 5 will be in the can, you know, and that's it. That's it. That's really, so that doesn't make any sense. The other thing that doesn't make any sense is, the other thing is, the investors, don't they have anything to say about this? I mean, don't the people who are losing money because of her have anything to say about this? And the reason why they're losing money is because the fans aren't happy. Think of the PR disaster if it comes out the idiots signed her again. All right, I mean, 30,000 foot. You've got a company that's part of the company that is so deep in the hole, you can't see the top right now. You've got fans upset who hate the company's leader. I mean, to the point where a lot of them aren't coming back, which is sad, okay? You've got investors not being paid dividends. And part of the reason is Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, who forced Galaxy's Edge to go from the awesome original trilogy to, you know, the sequel Nightmare. You know, and apparently they're reskinning it for Mando, which is good, because you can easily have. My dog collects sticks. He's pulling them out of bushes and he's piling them up. You know, it's all just, it's fascinating to me, a lot of this stuff. And I'm like, why would she want to come back? Why would she want her contract extended? You know, the only thing that would make sense is they extend her contract, and then in May of next year at Star Wars Celebration, she announces her retirement and Jon Favreau leaving. Now, everyone, the people who are complaining, and I'm going to call them out, Matt Kadish, Ryan Cannell, and those guys, did they not see that Lucasfilm doesn't look the way it used to? You got Dave Filoni in number 3. You got Mohsen Gupta, his sidekick, for the finance and production side. You think there might be changes coming, or doesn't that fit your narrative, and doesn't that fit your, you know, when you look at your AdSense and realize you're not making the money because people aren't clicking onto your videos because they're happy now. It's very interesting to me. But I just really have a hard time seeing her wanting to come back and being asked to come back. I don't, I mean, Bob Chapek, he doesn't have a working relationship with her. He doesn't know her. He wants to do things himself. He wants to change things and make Disney better. And, you know, a lot of people are complaining, and it's like, I have no problems with that. Maybe a money guy right now is the person to be there. All right? But I'm just shaking my head going, I don't understand what. Here's another thing. Let's say like you're just some dumb internet troll who goes to the angry channels and listens to everything they say and actually believes it. Come to my channel, go to Doomcut, go to Midnight's Edge, go to Clownfish and scream at them. Or, you know, just being an arrogant, fat fanboy fuck. Hey, then, just because one idiot in a live stream or a video says it doesn't make it true. Just like if I say it doesn't make it true. You know, but I'm looking at evidence. Okay, and the evidence that is out there that is compelling is not anything that Kennedy's saying. Not anything. You know, I've given the evidence again. Now maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I've wrong before, but now it's getting to the point where the people who don't want this they don't want this to happen. You know, you can have Matt Cater say, "I wish it wasn't true," but it's like, no, you're happy it's true, because you get to sit there and bitch about how bad Hollywood is. That's why you want it. Yeah, I mean, miserable people want misery. Hey, Matt Piranha, and they don't fix anything. Find me a miserable person who ever went and did something hopeful. They don't. And the internet has given them a place to land and cause trouble. Of course they are, and I know that. And, you know, okay, that was, we've got a problem with oh, there's another black wasp. We've got a problem, get away from me. Swear to God, if this thing comes over to me, you're going to see me do about 75 different new dance moves, and I'm going to turn into a ninja. They're so get away. You stay away from me. I'm really hoping that we don't have a nest in our fire pit wall, because if we do, oh, there's two of them? Okay, I think me and the dog are going to go upstairs now. Maybe upstairs. Come on, buddy. Let's go. We've been chased out. I mean, I'm not kidding you guys. No, we're not going up that way. Come on, bud. So, you know, what do we do? What do people want? I think you guys are here because you want to know that somehow something's going to happen that's going to be good. And not everything can be bad, okay? We're living in get out of my way. Get. We're living in a time period that is very sad. World doesn't have any good leadership, etc. And, you know, I think people are programmed to want that so they can bitch and be miserable and make everybody else miserable. And I really don't see the value in that for everybody. And I don't know, I mean, I'm just in here doing what I do, so what else? But that's it. There was nothing about Kennedy on Midnight's Edge, and I really think that it's nothing more than an internet rumor. I know he would have said something, because he showed up. I told Andre and Tom, he said this. So I know they talked to him about it. He didn't say a word. So maybe it just died. But gotta tell you, I am like, I'm so sick of it. You know what I'm sick of? Are people in positions like that who, Grace Randolph, it doesn't matter who literally believe that they are the be-all and end-all of this experiment we have within nerd culture. That, well, I heard this, so I'm right. It's like, but if someone has a complete opposite, and it's good news, they don't want to believe it. So they don't debate the merits of the evidence. They debate the other person's, character, and it's like, because they don't have anything. Again, if he had something, he would have said something today. I listened to the whole thing, and I was like, waiting we're waiting. And, I just think it's internet chatter, especially with the earnings call coming up. And they're going to have some, rainbows and the sunshine and unicorn farts to come up with. And, because Chapek won't tell the truth. He can't tell the truth. That would kill the stock. And his job is to keep the stock prices high. And I know when the market fell during the fake worrisome over the beer bug went on, that Disney took a hit. But Florida's going gangbusters. No one gives a shit about that down there. I'm going to tell you something. Just a minute. Kojak, come on. Leave Daddy alone. I'm going to tell you guys something. Oh, you're right, H boomer. And you're right, then. I mean, I suppose there are people out there in the world who haven't had a lot of societal breaks, if you know what I mean. Not in high school, not in grade school, not in college. And, they get into a thing where they get to know secrets and stuff like that. And they get to hang out with special people. So they get to hear some stuff, or not. And they can pretend, finally, that they're part of the in crowd. Maybe that's it. I think you're right, Ben. I really, really do. I do think you're right. You have to look at things intelligently, not from, I heard this on Twitter. Well, who said it? Red Eyes 95. Well, who's that? Well, he's a guy with like 500 followers. What does he do? Well, he's a gamer. Okay. That's where all this stuff starts. A lot of it. And it's very, interesting to me watching how this is playing out, because everything that I'm thinking Sutton will say, if he even writes anything now, anything that will write is a direct contradictory from what we've been talking about. And if you said, did you not take into account the Atlantic article, which basically coronated Jon Favreau as the head of at least the Star Wars franchise, if not Lucasfilm? And it won't matter to him. Here's the deal. He's got a byline to protect, and he's not smart enough. When someone says they're a journalist, I completely realize they have an IQ that flatlines. Okay. There are reporters who are good, but when someone calls themselves a journalist, I think of, any of the idiots on CNN. That's what I think of, okay? I don't think of any, I don't think of Walter Cronkite anymore. I don't think of any of those guys. I mean, I just think of someone who is there to sell a brand. And that's not what a journalist should be doing. You think? I don't know. I mean, I'm just sitting here, kind of going over things going. But anyway, so yeah, he didn't say anything. So, and this is, what they would, if I had Sutton here and we were talking about this, he would read Kojak, stay out of Daddy's office. He would read the Forbes article, which is a straight shot at Kennedy. He would read that Variety article, which was probably another, 4D chess move by Chapek. He would read the Atlantic article and not understand what they're saying. Okay. If you make your living at words, you should know what they mean. If you make your living writing about the news, you should know the players. And if you're making a living talking about the way politicians and a CEO and his department heads are politicians, how they behave and what they think and how they do things, then you should be able to understand what is in those three things. Then you've got that Reddit leak that looked like it came right off Kennedy's desk. Then you've got, I would show him the Pablo Hidalgo tweet and say, well, what does this mean? Well, he's not really saying that. He's saying he's done and so is she. That's what he's saying. That's exactly what he said. Okay, maybe I'm the one that can't read, but I'm like, when he wrote that. And what's interesting is when a friend of mine went back and said something to another friend of his, Pablo, I think, realized that he'd hit the bait, and was like, he posted a meme with a mousetrap, a box trap, and it's like, we caught him. I mean, we caught him. So I'm not, even if she, and even if she does come back, she's not going to be able to touch anything. Which leads me to ask, why would you want to? Again, Kathy Kennedy might be a great producer, though I don't think she is. What I think she is not as a good studio head. Know what the fuck she's doing. She's not having a clue at what she's doing. Just a minute. Kojak, come on. Come on. He's being really good boy. Finally laid down. Did you guys hear that? Good thump. You can't. Why would you want to come back? It just, I don't get it. And I'm looking at that through my eyes going, I wouldn't want to come back. And then I'd also know that looking at because the numbers don't lie. Her ideas for Star Wars have crashed and burned. I mean, and they really have. I mean, it's ugly. It really is quite ugly. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, but anyway, it was very interesting. He didn't say anything. So it could work out two ways. Either he's holding on to stuff and he's going to publish, like he said, or he's not going to say a word. But if he went and said that on Pop Culture Minefield, he would have said that on Midnight's Edge. He would have. He didn't say a word. Not a word. Okay? Sit down. Sit. Okay, the dog is, I don't know what he wants. He's just a weirdo. No, you're not going back outside. No, I think he thinks he wants to go back outside. But I don't like black wasps. So they're about like that big, and they're pitch black, and they're mean. My husband got stung by one twice 2 years ago. And was not a happy camper. They're ugly, they're nasty, so that's why we're not, hello? Okay, that's why we're not, what the heck? Okay, I did that. That's why we're not outside, not even on the deck, because they like going on the deck. In fact, they had the bastards had a nest way up there. We cleared it out, but they're nasty, man. I don't want to get stung. Hey, Curl Barab. Oh, Kojak, come on. Leave Daddy alone. Come on, buddy. I'm going to put you back in your house. I will. He just won't sit still. He was up real early this morning. Because no, you were just outside. I will take you out one more time and then you're going upstairs to go to bed. Okay, you stop that. Oh my God, he's so freaking demanding. Anyway, you guys want to hear about him. So anyway, this morning we were up real early because I had an appointment for a medical test, and I guess it went well. I don't know. So hopefully that crap is out of my life. I hope. And that's about it. But anyway, there's really nothing going on. Oh, the Star Wars Hotel. Oh my God, I haven't even talked about this. Can I ask you a question? Even if you had $6,000 for 2 nights and you got to spend it with people you didn't want to spend it with, doing things you didn't want to do, and hanging out, either fighting the resistance or being part of the resistance, and seeing Ray and Kyle Ron, would you spend that money? Put ones in the chat for no, twos for yes. Be very interesting. Because there's no fucking way. If I had the money, I wouldn't do it. If I had the money and it was an original trilogy where you could hang out and, have Vader invade your dinner, which would be hilarious, which would be a throwback to The Empire Strikes Back, where you could, take the trip to let's see, Navarro, or how about Narshada, and see the Falcon and see Han maybe working on it or something, and say hi to him, and see Leia and Luke, and maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's really interesting. I had a guy tell me, why would they want a bunch of middle-aged fans running around the park? And I'm going, ooh, because they bring their kids. Who the fuck do you think has children? People in their 20s don't have kids. I mean, back when my mom was young, yeah. But people in their 20s don't have kids. It's people in their 30s. And when they're in their 40s, the kids are old enough to take to Disney. Okay? So, why wouldn't you have it be the OT? Why wouldn't you want to introduce this little generation to the heroes of the Republic, of the New Republic, and Vader, and, you could do, I always thought it would be cool to have one part of the park be OT, and one part of the park be the prequels. And then somewhere in the middle, you could do some stuff for Clone Wars. And so you'd go from one to the other, and you get to meet Anakin and a young Obi-Wan and Ahsoka Tano, and Yoda would probably have a show, and then go to Clone Wars and Captain Rex and all the other clones, and Boba Fett would be in the OT, and Jango Fett would be in the PT. It would just be really cool. No. And I don't know why they didn't do it that way. It's really funny. You can have let's say like Warner Brothers didn't own DC. Let's say like Universal did. Just a minute. Kojak, come on. Let's say Universal did. And they did a DC Universe part of their park. They have Superman walking around. That's an old character. This is the short-term thinking of Kathleen Kennedy. That, come here, come on, Kojak. That these characters aren't as long-lasting as DC Universe characters. Batman, Superman. There should be a park for DC where the kids could go run around, hang out with the Joker and Harley Quinn. You know, think about it. I mean, why not? I mean, but, you know, Star Wars, no. We have to have the new stuff. Look how well that's done. Okay, look how well that's done. It hasn't done anything. And I guarantee you, if there was a park for the DC Universe and there was a guy strutting around who looked like Christopher Reeves or, you know, Henry Cavill, they would crush it. They would crush it. Same thing with Batman. Same thing with the Joker. You could have a myriad of different kinds of Jokers too. You could have Jack Nicholson's, and you could have Heath Ledger's. Yeah, age boomer. Yeah, you know, and it's you know. So I don't understand the thinking because it shows the lack of knowledge at how ingrained the characters, the OT characters, and the prequel trilogy characters are in the consciousness of even the casual fans. You know, I can't imagine that cosplayer that did Anakin was so good. I couldn't believe it. I really, honestly, for a split second, thought that was Hayden. I was like, is that Hayden? I really thought it was. I honestly did think that it was Hayden Christensen because he looked, except for his jaw, he looked just like him. And it was so cute and so funny, that video. But I'm, you know, not really understanding why they were so short-term in their thinking, and the fact that it didn't pay off at all. You know, when you've got a guy who sells Hasbro Black Series, and he says, well, I was told by my distributor to buy all this stuff because they don't have enough shipping containers. And I'm thinking, no, you were just outside. You stopped that. And they were, you know, I'm thinking of Target and Walmart with the walls and walls of Marvel. You know? You're right, age boomer. You're right. And the kids, you know what I think of when I think of little boys, and I think of what they're missing. Oh, I wish he'd stop doing that. Kojak, come on. You're being a jerk for no reason. You know. Well, I think you're right, Cruel Barab. I mean, you know, I don't get it. You know, if you're investing billions of dollars into a new company and you're bringing everything on board and you're going to... Just a minute. That was my husband yelling at the dog. I'm gonna have to put the dog in his house. All right, come on, buddy. Come on, you're bugging everybody. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. House. Yeah. Yeah, good long day of running around, so you can hang in there for a while. Why would you invest, you know, billions of dollars? Billions, okay. And not think long term. Why? And the reason why I'm asking is because it doesn't make any sense that they would invest in Star Wars and not think, what are we going to do to make this work? Excuse me. And what are we going to do to make this last? It's the thing about Star Wars is it's enduring, it's timeless, and it should have been treated that way. These idiots, again, I'm going to say this right now. Bob Iger is not a smart man. Kathleen Kennedy is not a smart woman. There was no one there to say, hey, you know what? These characters are extremely important to the culture, and we have to take care what we do with them because they're supposed to endure. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. And now look what we got. You know, I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. Kyle Ron doesn't endure. People laugh at him. I mean, people laugh at Rey. I mean, she makes absolutely no impression at all. Who needs her? Who needs her? Nobody. Yeah, and that's the point. And the characters they created aren't enduring. No one likes them. No one cares about them. What's the point? You know, really, what's the point? And that's the problem. I do believe that a lot of fans don't realize they have what they have with what's going on at Disney. And a lot of the people that say they like them don't buy the figures, they don't buy the merch, and they don't go to the movies over and over and over and over again. I guarantee you, if the Reylos showed up en masse to go to see to go to see The Rise of Skywalker, it would have made a lot more money than it did. But it didn't. It didn't because they even trashed that. They don't know how to handle this. These big overarching character arcs and stories. It's like you gave a Greek tragedy to someone writing an 80s sitcom. A bad one. You know, and it's like, really? This sucks. Okay, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. That's what it is. So anyway, I'll be on for a few more minutes. I just want to say that there's nothing really going on. I haven't heard anything. I went and talked to. Oh, I'm not going to. I got a link to a certain way of watching Rise of Skywalker, and I just scrolled through it. I didn't watch it. I just stopped at pertinent parts and was like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? You know, one of those things where you go, you know, and then you start gagging. It's just, you know, really, and I haven't seen, I've only seen Solo in pieces parts, just casually scrolling through, but I won't watch that either. I won't watch that either. I don't like dumpster fires, and I don't like people taking great big dumps on Han and Leia and Luke, and that's exactly what they did. And they did it because they're too stupid to understand what they did. And they're like, well, what's the point? The point is the people that spend the money are the ones that are outraged. Their kids, if their kids are raised right, are outraged. And the people who liked it don't love it enough to buy the shit. Okay? And that's true. Well, Solo, all right, Solo was bad from every angle a movie could be bad. Bad casting. The first directors were bad. Bad writer. John Kasdan should never have been near that. It was all just bad. I mean, it was just bad. You know, and it never should have been written. It never should have been made. Those four movies, TFA, TLJ, Tross, and Solo never should have been made. All right, Disney would have been better off investing that money in a sound Star Wars experience at the parks. And looking at what they're doing with that dumb hotel is like, you know, that's not how you do Star Wars. I would rather have Vader crash my dinner. Well, I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? But instead, we got that moron showing up. I get his face and say, you can turn around and leave, young man. Right now. You know, I'm not your parents. I won't hesitate to turn you over on my knee and kick your ass. Okay? You spoiled, rotten little fuck. Get out of here. You know, I'll get into character. And Vader merch sells. Because Vader was cool. Anyway, listen, I gotta rock. So, I don't know, maybe I'll be live later. I'll talk to you guys later. So, I'll see you around the galaxy. And I just wanted to come out and say, ain't nothing going on. And I'm getting restless. See you later.